A few days before Christmas 1995, in the Mayfair district of London, David Matt Callum approached two 15-year-old boys and invited them to his home to listen to some heavy metal. Passionate about this genre, the teenagers, Michael Earridge and Stephen Cullen, accepted and followed their older new acquaintance. Once at David's place, Michael and Stephen were struck by the disarray: Iron Maiden and Metallica records stacked beside a mountain of books, all devoted to serial killer Charles Manson. At the center of the room stood an altar draped in black, with candles burning at each end. In a calm voice, Matt Callum explained to his puzzled guests, "This altar is dedicated to Satan. My friend Dennis and I are true devotees of the devil. We use the Ouija board to communicate with the dead." Proudly, he pointed to the game board at the foot of the altar and suggested they play. Intrigued, Michael and Stephen agreed. After Dennis arrived, the four sat around the Ouija board on the floor. Following the game's tradition, each placed a hand on the planchette at the center of the board. Almost instantly, Matt Callum's suddenly gravelly voice broke the silence. "Satan, if you are among us, give us your orders. Tell us what you desire us to do." Matt Callum abruptly stood, forcefully grabbed young Michael, threw him onto the bed, and pinned him down. Armed with a combat knife, he brutally stabbed his victim. 11 times, the long, sharp blade struck the poor boy's body. Dennis, struggling to restrain a terrified Stephen, finally shouted at Matt Callum, "Stop, David, stop. He's dead." In a sudden burst, Stephen managed to free himself and fled in terror. Once alone, David and Dennis wrapped the corpse in a blanket and decided to transport it in their car's trunk to dispose of it in a public dump. Shortly after, they were arrested, thanks to the information provided by the massacre's young survivor. It turned out that the two Satan worshippers were already the subject of a double psychiatric and police investigation for various past events. The judges sentenced him to life imprisonment at Broadmoor Hospital, a maximum security psychiatric facility. His accomplice was sentenced to 10 years in another psychiatric facility.